So I'm going to show you one of my favorite breaths. I think it's one of the fastest breaths for clearing away any sort of chaotic energy. If you're feeling ungrounded or very distractible or irritable, this breath is a really powerful breath for clearing and for kind of removing blockages so that we can go about our day in a more clear way or drop into meditation in a more clear way. So it's called the Great Lock, and it is through using breath retention. So we actually hold the breath in this exercise. And so I'll explain it and then we'll do it together. So we're going to take a few deep breaths to begin, and those deep breaths are sweeping through the midline as though we're clearing ourselves out to begin. And then we're going to take a very deep inhale to the tippy top of the breath. Where you can't get any more breath, pull it in and hold the breath at the top. And then we're going to find the Great Lock. So the Great Lock is where we engage all three bandhas. Bandhas are like energetic seals used to hold energy or kind of contain energy within. And so the first one is at the pelvic floor. And you'll find it just by gently pulling the pelvic floor up toward the crown of the head. It's almost like you're sealing it off, and it's just as much physical as it is intentional or energetic. So you lift the pelvic floor just a little bit like you're resisting the urge to pee, but at the same time you imagine that you have sealed your pelvic floor. The second bandha is in the low belly, about 3 finger distances below the navel. And you can find it by imagining that there's a string on that space and you're pulling it in toward the spine and slightly up toward the crown of the head. So it's like in and up. And again, just as much energetic and intentional as physical. So you draw it in and you imagine energetically drawing it in and up, like you're pulling the energy up toward the heart. And then the last bandha is the throat lock. So you'll just find this one by gently tucking the chin toward the chest and kind of drawing the chin back. So again, pulling that length into the back of the neck. And so you're going to do all 3 of these at the same time as you're holding your breath. So you inhale, lift the pelvic floor, draw the belly in, and tuck the chin and hold as long as you can. When you want to release, don't release yet. Then take another sip in and hold a little bit longer to your edge. When you're ready, you lift the chin and slowly, slowly exhale all the air out and take a couple of those sweeping, cleaning breaths, washing the midline. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side of the breath, on the exhale. So taking a big inhale, big exhale, everything out. Hold the breath at the bottom. Lift the pelvic floor, draw the belly in, tuck the chin and hold. As long as you can, you choose, you lift the chin and slowly breathe through the midline. And this one on the exhale is harder, so you might start to feel a little anxious or panicked. That's okay, just lift your chin and start to breathe again. It's a big clearing, and more that we do it, the easier that it gets. So let's do it. Hands on your lap, sit up nice and tall. And let's take 3 big, sweeping, oceanic breaths through the midline. And as you're ready, take a very deep inhale. Hold the breath at the top, lift the pelvic floor, draw the belly in, tuck the chin, and hold. When you want to release, take another sip in. Hold a little longer. Keep lifting from the pelvic floor into the heart. And on your own time, you slowly lift the chin and exhale out. A few breaths to spread the intelligence of the breath. Good. Next breath, take a very deep inhale. Full exhale, everything out. Lift the pelvic floor, draw the belly in, tuck the chin, and hold. You release on your own time. As you release, slow, deep breaths through the midline.